And welcome to Talkonomics, where we talk about money and economics. Today, we're doing a test stream. We're gonna test out Theta. We'll cover the markets a little bit, as well as maybe even talk about some credit cards. Anything you really want to know about money, and go ahead and ask it in the chat, and I'll try to respond to any questions we have about Talkonomics, where we talk about money and economics. Oh, I'm getting some feedback here. Let me. We're doing a test stream. We're gonna test out Theta. We'll cover the markets a little bit. All right, there we go. I should still be able to see the chat. I had to pause the Theta stream. I was getting too much feedback on that. But let's make sure that everything else is working. Pull this all up. Let's get that rolling. All right. So today, I want to make sure that everyone has their questions answered and that we are, covering anyone's questions that they may have. Just trying to get everything up and running here. Give me a second. All right, so let's just go ahead and get started. We'll dive into the Ethereum charts today. For anyone that doesn't know how to read charts or do technical analysis, don't worry, I got you. We even got this cool color changing light thing here for when the market's in the red, and when the market's in the green, we'll go green. Let's stay neutral for now, though. We'll go a little blue here. All right. So pulling up the charts here on Ethereum. Let's zoom out a little bit. We're on the 12-hour chart currently, and I have these cool little icons here for when it looks to sell and when it looks to buy. Right now, we're still on a sell pattern. We got a chat question here on Theta. Do you think we are coming to the bottom of the dip, likely to have an upward pressure to the end of the year? Yeah, that's actually a great question. When I get into the Bitcoin chart, there's two outcomes that I see on the chart. Either we go sideways until September, which I think is highly unlikely, or we determine a break up or break down pattern by the end of next month. So the Ethereum chart here, we broke out of our descending pattern here, and we still have some red sell pressure. If you can see down here on the chart, we're still in the red. There's green sell or green money flow over here. Normally that means it's a healthy market. Market's going up. When you see the red on especially on my charts here, there's still some selling pressure. What I do see on this chart here, let's move to the daily chart, get a better picture. So what I like to see is these momentum waves getting smaller and smaller, and you can sort of determine what's happening in the market by looking at these momentum waves. If we go back to the 12-hour, you can see that this momentum wave started to move upward. So then this started to move upward. And you can sort of determine how the market's going to turn out by drawing these little momentum waves yourself. I think maybe the momentum wave will look like that. Hopefully we don't break back down to the downside here, but if we do, probably look something like that and come back up, in hopes. But let's go ahead, because we have somebody that was interested in the Bitcoin chart, because Bitcoin is the really the sea that raises all ships. Let's go ahead, pull up Bitcoin here, take a better look at that chart. This is our first stream on Theta. We got a couple hiccups starting off, but we're just gonna roll with it. All right. So I was doing some previous breakdown here. Don't mind this little squiggle line. But so what we were looking at here on the Bitcoin chart was some interesting stuff. So let's go ahead and draw our lines out here. Draw a line from this bottom to there. Oddly enough, these candles don't go any lower than 28.16. So that's a good sign. You know, when, I don't know, hopefully you can see this blue line on the Theta TV there. And the other channels, we're also streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook right now. So when you're taking a look at the chart, you know, this gives you a pretty good feeling that this was the lowest it dropped to for this wick, and this wick didn't drop lower than that as well, staying on an even keel playing field at 28.816. So that's a good thing. You know, what else we're looking at, let's go ahead and go back to the cursor here. We're still under the 200-day moving average. For those that don't know, it's this green line right here. And it turned red because we're underneath it right now. You know, our hopes is that we get back above this line here. And Bitcoin is starting to give some good indicators. If you look down toward the bottom of our momentum waves here, it's these blue bubbles at the bottom here. We, of course, got our little green dot at the bottom saying that, you know, this was the bottom and we're starting to see some buying pressure. Also, what I really like to see are these momentum waves getting smaller, especially on the daily chart. Really, really bullish. You know, I'll be very bullish when this red wave, this red money wave, starts to turn green. That'll be a really good sign. But you can essentially, you know, we can draw a hypothesis, you know, literally, and draw these lines through these momentum waves. So, you know, if the momentum waves continue to be, that's not a very good line. That's a rough line. But let's try that again. We might have to wait for a couple more momentum waves to form, but because the momentum waves keep getting smaller is what we like to see. If they was going a little momentum wave and getting bigger and bigger, you know, sort of something like little momentum wave, bigger momentum wave, biggest momentum wave, you know, that would be scary. But we're going in reverse and we're doing big momentum wave, which was at the bottom of our sell-off channel there, and we're getting smaller and smaller. And most likely what will happen is we'll probably consolidate for a little bit longer. On my technical analysis that we did earlier, if you follow us on YouTube, here is the channels. If you follow us, let me pull those up real quick for you. There you go. It's Talkonomics. And every day we talk about money and economics. So if you have questions about credit cards or crypto or mortgages, I've been a federal loan officer. I've been a federal treasury officer. I've worked in the public sector, in the private sector, in the federal sector. So, you know, I have the experience to help you out. We also have a Discord as well. Let me post that Discord in the chat. So if we have anybody watching, you're welcome to join the Discord. We have some super smart people in there. We have accountants and lawyers and all sorts of fun people that can help answer any crypto or financial questions that you may have. I'm new to the streaming thing, so I'm just going with the flow. I don't have a script like the other big dogs do. Just sort of rolling with it. You know, it helps me if you ask questions in the chat. I'm able to jump on top of that and answer your questions and make sure that you get in the right position. You know, my goal is to help you out and use my experience to, you know, make everyone a little bit of money. I'm not paid for any of this. This is just a hobby of mine that I'm jumping into, and hopefully I'm able to help you out. I just posted our link tree in the Theta chat. If you're in YouTube, it is in the description below. But there's our Twitter there. Pull up the Discord here. So this is our Discord. If you want to join, you know, everyone's welcome to join. You know, we have a nice little public chat here. We have some real smart members in there. You know, we have a daily price action for Bitcoin and Ethereum in there as well. We have daily news postings. Everything, as soon as it comes out, automatically posted in the chat. We have some real cool promo codes. I think it's up to $15 in free sign-up bonuses for if you want to sign up. I get the same thing in return. We have a bunch of helpful links to teach you how to learn how to do decentralized finance and a bunch of other cool things in there. We have some multimedia. If you want to learn how to farm, we have our bullish picks. All the cool stuff. Go ahead, ask questions. We're here to help each other out, and we want to make sure that everyone's in the right position. So let's go back and look at the Bitcoin chart. So if we zoom in here, well, I'll never get used to trading view controls. So if we zoom in here, we did have a bearish indicator. Go ahead and move our indicator to red. We had a bearish indicator recently on the daily chart. And it's this X followed by this diamond here. And normally what that means is a confirmation to the downside. At the end of the day, I don't see us breaking below this blue line that we drew earlier. I wish it was a little bit thicker for you. But this is going to be your bottom of your channel, you know, from all the way back to January, beginning of the year. So I'm pretty bullish that we're going to continue upward, but we'll probably go sideways for a bit. We're probably going to retest this channel down here, and then move back up. You know, I think, you know, this isn't financial advice because I don't know who's listening. What's my trading platform? He asks. So I like lots of trading platforms. Really depends on what you like to use. There is like a decentralized trading platform like Uniswap. Uniswap allows you to swap your tokens. Is that what you mean? Like, where do I swap at and trade at? Or are you asking about where we're doing the chart view at? Let me know in the chat there, Mr. 2000. And let's go ahead and get back to our BTC chart. But if you don't know how to use Uniswap, I recommend you ask somebody that does in our chat group. We'll be able to help you and point you in the right direction. But looking back at the Bitcoin chart, you have to think now. All right. So after like my fundamental analysis that I've done on Bitcoin over the last several months, if Bitcoin drops anywhere in the 20s at all, people consider that a bargain. Think about it to yourself right now. If Bitcoin dropped into the 20s, would that seem super heavily discounted to you? You know, most people think it is. And we're at about 33,000. So say Bitcoin drops to 25,000. All right, well, it's down if you bought at 33,000. But say it doesn't. Say it goes back up to 60,000. Or, you know, like Celsius CEO Alex Mashinsky thinks 160,000, or like what BitBoy Crypto thinks, 300,000. I think you have a lot more upside than you do downside at this point. So, yeah, we could possibly have another 20% retracement. But we could also have, a 400% gain on it. Oh, the charts. Yeah, we are currently using TradingView. TradingView is some, what indicators do you use? For beginners, I would tell you to go ahead and click on the indicators, which is the F button here, and go ahead and type in super trend. And super trend, I'll type that in the chat for you. Super trend. And that is the first one that pops up there. It's really easy to read. These other ones have sort of been built by other people that are much smarter than I am in the space. But for beginners, I recommend Supertrend. I also recommend the TUX EMA. I'll put that in the chat too. TUX EMA. And those two overlapping, they're not 100%, but I think it will give you a good idea of which way the market's heading. And they do a great job overlapping on any asset class. So if you are into stocks or fiat currencies or whatever you like to pull up on the charts here, those are two good indicators. The I think Super Trend is a little bit more friendly than the TUX, but they're both good to have overall. And then you can also add the what's another good one to add? I think it was the. Let's go ahead and search here. Let's see. And another good way to learn about charts is pull up all the indicators and start looking at the indicators that have a lot of uses too. I don't know what this CMRSI is. Pull it up. It has the most uses out of anything, so must be pretty useful. Let's see what it looks like. Wow. All right. So it pulls this up at the bottom here, and seems to be pretty cool. All right. So it looks like when this starts to break over this dotted red line, we might be slightly overbought, but it doesn't do a great job because it also went over that as well down there. So I mean, if you use those in tandem with the super trend indicator and start to play around with the indicators and sort of, figure out what you think is best for you, let's actually experiment with this new thing. What are we using? What is this new indicator? Let's see what this new indicator is. We're using I don't even know what this one's called. Whatever one we just pulled up. Hopefully you're watching. Hopefully you can go back and rewind. You probably can't rewind on Theta TV, but you can rewind on YouTube and our Facebook, as well as maybe Twitch. But it looks like down here, where we hit the green line, right down here, that may be a bottom signal. So let's look back and see when the last time that happened was. Wow, all right. So it's not a great top indicator, what we pulled up, but it looks like it's a really good bottom indicator. So like when this broke through the bottom down here, that was the bottom of the bottom. So that's a pretty cool indicator to play with. Let's see, like if we go back here, it looks like that was the bottom as well. So, I think we got pretty close right here. I don't think that, I don't think we're going back down, guys. I think we'll go sideways for a bit and slowly move back up. Let's look at some other indicators. This is fun. Anyone else in the chat have any indicators that they want to see tested out? For me to look at. Let's look at some of these. No TR1s. Let's see. Let's see. I know I have a couple cool ones on my phone here. Don't hesitate to post your indicators that you want to see used in the chat, and we can go ahead and take a look at those. Hello, Mr. 16. Let's see here. Hello, Kazum. Let's see, we're pulling up new indicators right now. We're testing out indicators on the chart, see what works best. If you have any ideas for indicators that you want us to test out, go ahead and post them in the chat and we'll take a look at them. We recently pulled up this one right here, and it seems to be a really good bottom indicator. If you look back at the dates that it fell through, the green line here, looks like about March 13th, it was the bottom of our trend, or the bottom of our sell-off. And as you move through the chart, this most recent sell-off, we almost broke through the green line. But as you can see, we're sort of moving back up. We're starting to trend upwards there. So that's a pretty bullish sign. I've never seen that indicator before. I'm going to go back in my own YouTube video and watch what that indicator was that we just pulled up here. Really, really cool indicator. I'm happy we found that. Thank you to Mr. 2000 for making me look at the indicators. And our keyboard here. You know, that's making me sort of bullish, guys. I'm getting sort of bullish here. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good breakdown of the charts. You know, especially that our momentum waves are getting smaller. It's in line with the chart starting to move up. That's all a good sign. We have our buy and sell indicators starting to change too. How do we go and move that? Supertram market cipher. Oh, here's the name of the chart. We pulled up the CM-RSI EMA. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and hide that. Let's pull up another RSI. Let's see what else we got for RSIs. RSI. What's another one RSI that has the most uses? RSI 2 strategy. Okay, that's pretty big. A lot of people using that. The double strategy. A lot of people use that one. Let's pull this one up. Double strategy. Hey, Kuzman, or K-A-Z, Kazman. All right. Now that's an interesting indicator. What does this do? That this indicator, I'm not sure what it does. Let's go ahead and go change our lights back. All right, let's take that off here. I don't like that indicator. How do I remove that? All right. Let's reload the page here. Got it over our heads, changed up everything. Hopefully that disappears when we reload. Oh no. All right, how do we get rid of that? No, we didn't want to do that. Let's go ahead. There we go. All right. Let's pull up another RSI indicator. Hey, Mr. 007, Rick Track 007. What we're doing right now is we are exploring indicators. We're looking over the chart. If you have questions about charts or anything having to do with finance or economics, go ahead and ask in the chat, and we will try to point you in the right direction. Let me pull up our channels here. You can find us in Discord. You can also find us on YouTube. In the chat, I just posted our links. You can go ahead and join up through there. We have a pretty cool Discord channel. Has a lot of cool indicators here. We have the breakdown of some charts. Let me actually pull up a chart here. I think that y'all would find interesting. Let's see here. I think it's this one right here. So this is our stock to flow model on Bitcoin, and I know you've all seen this before. Pull that over there. What indicators do you use? Oh no, that was the old one. All right, let's go back to our stock to flow model. So on our stock to flow model, we're starting to trend, sort of sideways a little bit. And I'm not too concerned about that, because if you explore this link here, let me find something that will make everyone bullish. Let's see, moving averages. Let's see. I think you'll find this pretty interesting. Stock to flow. This one. No, it's not that one. Not that one. find it for you guys. Minor capitulation. No, not that one, but that's a pretty interesting chart to look at. Feel multiple. No, we're not interested in that. Let's see. Moving averages. Let's see. I'm gonna find it. You guys are gonna be in awe. Yes, I do. We'll click through this whole thing. Figure out where it is. No, it's not there. Let's see, price predictions, cycle repeat. No, it's not that one. We're gonna find it. Hello, Cemex. Compare bull markets. All right. Was it this chart? Average days till all-time high. Let's see. Oh, okay. So I think that's it. We're gonna come back to that in a second. Hey, what's up? Garretoid J. All right. Spent outputs. No, that's not it either. Layer multiple. There's so many. 4-year multiple. Nope, that's not it. Days since all-time high. No, maybe under other. Days above price band. Sharp ratio, 4-year multiple. Oh man, it's so cool once I can find it. I think it's probably one of the coolest indicators on this whole thing. It's dominant coins. But if you haven't messed around with this, I highly recommend you get in here. It's in our Discord. I have all the links here. Everyone's welcome to join. Unless you're a douche, then don't join. But it's pretty cool. I made all this for everyone. I have lots and lots of years in finance. So if you have any questions about anything having to do with finance, go ahead and ask it in the chat, and I'll be able to help y'all out. The chat has a lot of cool things in it too, so go ahead and make sure that you explore that as well. But I want to go back to talking about some of the stuff that was asked in our chat about credit cards. So for those that are interested in credit cards, there's a lot of good options out there. I'm not sponsored by anyone to tell you what credit cards are good and bad, but I will tell you that your credit cards should try to avoid annual fees if you're not a big spender. If the annual fee doesn't make sense for the amount that you earn back in rewards, meaning if you pay $100 annual fee but you only earn $100 in annual rewards, it doesn't make sense. They cancel each other out. So for the average spender, you want to look at credit cards that the rewards outweigh the annual fee. And for most people, that's going to be a cash back credit card. So, if you're interested in cash back, the Ducks Unlimited cash back card gives 5% on gas. Ducks Unlimited gives you 5% cash back on gas, which is pretty cool. And all shoots down, it's 5%. Oh, I guess they changed it. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, that was going to be one of my recommendations. I guess it's recently changed. It used to be 5% cash back on all gas. So let's take a look at some other credit cards. For any military members, the USA Amex card is a great card. If we have any military members in the chat, this credit card right here, if you have USAA, no annual fee, and is essentially 3% cash back on all restaurant purchases, and you get concierge service with no annual fee. The annual fees tied to concierge services are normally on the Amex Platinum and Amex Centurion card. But if you have this card through USAA, you get concierge service, no annual fee, plus you get 3% cash back at restaurants. Really, really cool. If you are not a USAA member and not a military member, Verizon has a cool credit card that I believe, let's pull this up, is 3% cash back on dining purchases, which is pretty cool, and 4% cash back on grocery store purchases as well as gas purchases. I believe that the cashback rewards goes toward Verizon purchases, though. So if you ever plan on buying a new phone or paying your Verizon cell phone bill, that's going to be a great option for you. For an everyday card, I think that there's a lot of good options, but overall, I think some of the best options are going to be, getting 2% cash back on all spend. So the PayPal credit card is a really good option, especially if you're looking to get 2% cash back on everything you spend. So, to give you an example, the average person spends $30,000 a year on just stuff, just random stuff. Whoever tells you credit cards are bad, they don't really know much about finance. Essentially, you're saving 2% of your money per year by spending it on a credit card opposed to spending it in cash. So essentially, if you were to pay off your credit card when you use it, you can earn a percentage of cash back. So in PayPal's case, it's 2%. So say you spent $30,000 a year, multiplied by 2%, you get $600 back. For some people, let's see, I don't know if you can see my calculator math, but $600 back. And we got a chat here. I tend to put my money aside in advance instead of having a credit card. Find more discipline and less stress. Oh, nothing wrong with putting your money aside, as long as you're putting it aside in a store of value or a finance vehicle that beats the rate of inflation. So if you're not planning on spending that money, you don't want to just keep it on the side, because there's something called inflation. So inflation is essentially the increased cost in goods. So increased cost in goods means that your money is worth less. And essentially, some people, including myself, are thinking that inflation right now is around 12%. So you take essentially what you make for the entire year, go ahead and subtract off 12%. You can do that right now on your phone calculators. Take what you plan on making this year, multiply that by 12%. That's essentially what you're going to miss out on because of inflation. So, that's, and that's not even including taxes. And these things are called the invisible hand when, you sort of just get nickeled and dimed out of your money. So when you store your money, you want to store it in vehicles that are beating the rate of inflation. And what a lot of companies have been doing for a while now is they've been buying back their own stocks, at least since 2008 when it became a legal loophole again. It used to not be able to do that, but now companies are able to buy back their own stocks because their rate of return on their own company is greater than the rate of return that they're getting on their bank accounts and checking accounts and bond yields. So holding the stock is more of a, to use offset accounts for home loans, etc. Use offset accounts for home loans, etc. I don't, or all in crypto. Oh, I hear you. So no, it doesn't. Everything doesn't all have to be in crypto, and that's a good point. I'll come back to that in just a second. But what I was saying about companies buying back their own stocks is they've been doing it since 2008 because it has a better trajectory for rate of growth. It's predictable. If a company says, "Hey, we're going to grow by 15% this year," and then they can put their money in their own stock and they get a 15% growth rate on their money. Where as the stock market starts to slow down or better vehicles start to come out, like crypto, companies like MicroStrategy and PayPal and Square are all starting to hold crypto instead of their stock. And what they're doing is, well, especially MicroStrategy, is selling off their stock to buy crypto because they determine that that's a better asset vehicle and a better rate of growth. So that's either it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to make the stock market collapse because a bunch of companies will start selling off their stocks for a better rate of growth in crypto, or it will make the stock market soar because companies are converting their balance sheets to a higher growth rate asset class. And when you can take these same asset classes and also earn yield on them too, it becomes pretty lucrative for companies to start changing over their balance sheets. Hello to everyone new in the chat. This is Talkonomics, where we talk about money and economics. So at the end of the day, I think that companies selling off their own stock to buy back crypto is going to make the stock market stronger. So as far as holding your question, Wizard of Oz, do you use offset accounts for home loans, etc.? So because money is so cheap right now, I don't recommend paying off home loans. Not financial advice. At least what I do personally is, if you can get a higher rate of return than the rate of interest charged to you, then you should take as much loan as you possibly can. Essentially, interest rates on mortgages are 2.75% right now. If you were to earn 3% on your money, you're doing better than paying off your mortgage. You know what I'm saying? So there's asset accounts on blockchain. I think you followed that up with, or put it all on crypto. So there's asset accounts on the blockchain. This is hopefully gonna be new to a lot of you, and I can bring some value to everyone. This is called Anchor Protocol. And Anchor Protocol is a really cool application that allows you to earn yield on US dollars. Go ahead and pull that up. So right now, the APY on this US dollar savings account is 19.47%. That means that you put $1, $1 million, $5 million into this account, you're earning 19.4%. This is built on the Terra blockchain. And for anyone that doesn't understand cryptocurrency or digital assets, this is called a smart contract. And what a smart contract does is it takes economics and it takes computer science and combines them together. And you get these really cool smart contracts that yield real fantastic returns on your money. It's a little bit difficult to get into the Anchor Protocol because everything is currently built on the Ethereum network on ERC20s. So you have to do a bridge, and there's a lot of good YouTube videos on how to convert your dollars from the Ethereum blockchain to the Terra blockchain. One I would recommend is, let's pull this guy up right here. The Defiant has a lot of good videos. He had a good video about 3 months ago. One was Magic Money, which talked about Alchemix and Anchor Protocol, and one other one that I couldn't quite wrap my head around. But really good tutorials if you want to learn how to use Anchor Protocol. Go ahead and check out the Defiant. He's a pretty smart guy. But hopefully that answers your question, Wizard of Oz, about yield and where to put it. If we go back to talking about credit cards and how you spend your money, the goal is to get as much cash back as possible. So we've covered the Verizon credit card, we've covered the PayPal credit card. Let's go ahead and cover a crypto credit card. Crypto. Let's go ahead. And there's a lot of different crypto credit cards coming out. In our Discord, there are sign-up links for BlockFi. The BlockFi credit card gives you 1.5% cash back on all purchases, but in Bitcoin, which is pretty cool. Cheers to you, Wizard of Oz. As well as Celsius is also coming out with a credit card as well. So go ahead and sign up for that wait list too. Not financial advice, but that's what I'm doing. Also, you want to go ahead and check out Crypto.com. See, Crypto.com is in a really unique position, not only being one of the first movers in the space, but they also have some really cool cashback tiers. So the Obsidian Black card gives you 8% cash back on all spend. So what that means is essentially determine what you spend for the entire year, multiply that by 8%, and that's how much cash you get back. But I gotta preface this with a but. I do not have the Obsidian Black card. Nobody I know has the Obsidian Black card, because you have to have staked $400,000 to get the Black card. Okay, it's quite a bit. It's quite more than I have, or at least that I'm willing to stake in in crypto.com. I'll show my portfolio right now. Coin stats. Let's go ahead and pull this up here. So this is what I'm currently holding. And this is how I'm currently broken down. I'm mostly Ethereum heavy right now, and I'm big into Cardano. I sold my Bitcoin at 35,000, switched it to stable coins, and the only time you should sell is if you know you can buy back in lower. So I'm getting ready to move it back in. Once I can determine an up or down trend on the Bitcoin chart. I think from what we covered earlier, we did have an upward trend starting to form. Hey, what up, Alkeem? We'll just call you Al. You get a cool alien picture there for your icon. Go ahead and check us out. We have an awesome Discord. We're Talkonomics, where we answer any questions that you have about money and economics. We posted the links to the chat there. But we'll go back to the crypto cards, and you also have your rose gold and your icy white card. It gives you 5% cash back. And these two cards, the black and the icy white and the rose gold, they're pretty out of reach for a lot of people. And I think that a lot of people are going to trend toward the purple and the green, the red and the blue. And those, I personally have the purple card. Real pretty card. It's got some good weight to it. Good base for top gains. The purple card allows you to get 100% cash back on Spotify, 100% cash back on Netflix. Also gives you airport lounge access. You do have to stake a little bit, but you get 3% cash back. All right, and that's cool because my girlfriend always has me buying stuff for her. So that 3% cash back comes in handy. Selling at 35 nonsense. When did you buy? Oh, sir, I've been around for quite a bit. Just sort of stacking sats. Slowly got up to a full Bitcoin myself, and then diversified into Ethereum, and wrote Ethereum up, sold back into Bitcoin. You sort of just have to read the charts and play the game, and you follow the channel, and I'll show you when I'm buying and when I'm selling to try to accumulate. The only time that I sell is if I know I can buy in lower. And based on looking at the charts, that's what I've done a good job of doing. I only sell and buy back in lower, get a couple sats and keep stacking. I probably should have bought back in at our low here that we drew. Our lines have disappeared. Oh, there we go. So for those that are new to the chat, this blue line right here was our bottom. It matches up with our previous bottom back at the beginning of the year. And we're going to trend sideways for a bit. We might come back down and retest that line. Anything at 30 or below is a good buy. I'm not going to buy higher than 35, so I'm probably going to either re-enter my position soon or I'm actually going to re-enter my position soon after looking at the charts with everyone today. Probably actually later tonight or tomorrow. we'll re-enter that position. Or with the bullish news that came out from the SEC commissioner today about that we're overdue for the Bitcoin ETF. Go ahead and pull that up in our Discord here.